thicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage off instinct. Niggas don't think shit stink. Pink gators, my Detroit players. Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. That's dead right. If the head right, Biggie there, air night. Papa been smooth since things are under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls want to sweet first. Ask questions last. That's how most of these so-called gangsters.
I'm Kanabi. Welcome to the deep dive of Dan Bilzerian. Oh god. So, he's 5'9". Supposedly he's worth, I think Google says 200 million, which is, I don't know, unfathomable to me, honestly. That's a lot of money, like a stupid amount of money. So he was born on December 7th, 1980, making him 41 years old, and he is a Sagittarius. Well, his parents are Paul and Terry. Dan has a brother named Adam. He is a younger brother.
We fought a lot as kids. When we had some space, you know, we kind of like, we bonded more and we became pretty close.
It's a liar and a weasel, bro.
So, you know, he lived a typical nice life. He lived in like a mansion.
Would you describe what life was like for you growing up?
My dad, he built a 44,000 square foot house with, 26 bathrooms, indoor basketball court, and so that was a little different.
What does he say, like 29 bathrooms or whatever, 24, whatever the fuck? Like, bro.
And he also went to jail for a year, federal prison, and...
Oh yeah, so his dad went to prison. So let's just say this was the start of his daddy issues. His dad went to prison for like manipulating stocks. As far as I know, he was like pretty much buying a lot of stocks and then taking over the companies. Whenever you do that, you're supposed to inform some specific people, and he didn't. He was fucking over a lot of people. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison, and he only served 13 months. He owed the government or whatever. They were trying to recover the $62 million that they were only able to get $3.7 million back. But, it kind of seems like after his dad went to jail, this is when his life got kind of like turbulent, and he just sounded like a troublemaker, honestly.
That was when I was in second grade. So, look, I got kicked out of school 7th grade, so I ended up living with my aunt and uncle. 8th grade, I was in military school. 9th grade, I went to Utah to live in a completely Mormon city. 10th grade, I went back to Tampa Prep. 11th grade, I went to a public school. Then halfway through, went to another public school in Utah. 3 days into my senior year, I got thrown in jail, so.
So explain what led to you getting thrown in jail your senior year.
A machine gun and a shotgun in my vehicle on school grounds would be probably what led to that.
I have so many questions here. If you brought guns to school, he mentions in some of the videos that this was around the time that Columbine happened. What were you thinking? And then also, how does a high schooler get guns? Was it like legal back then or what? Like what the? You wouldn't be able to buy guns here where I live at that young of an age. So does your dad just have all these freaking guns or like what? And then another question, where did you get the money to buy the guns? Dude, that's just such a stupid decision to bring a gun to school. Like, don't piss off Dan the man. You never know what could happen.
Tell about how you lost your virginity when you were in 8th grade.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, not one of my finest moments, but it was a hooker in Mexico.
Okay, why? Just like, why? This dude is just like... He is such a good role model for kids. Oh my god. Like, what some people should really look up to and want to be. I feel like there's some things in your life that you should just keep private and not say anywhere. Maybe he started going to the Navy. Something weird. I guess he hurt himself in the Navy, and then he decides, oh, I want to go to the Navy SEALs, which is like, why? Well, why are you gonna do that to yourself? Doesn't that sound stupid? And then he's getting like disability money from it. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Navy SEALs. Supposedly they kick him out 2 days before graduation, which I just kind of doubt it, because it's like, why would they do that? They spend like millions of dollars training Navy SEAls. They're like, you know, they're labeled as the $1 Million Man. Something that he did on the shooting range, like he wasn't listening or had some kind of misconduct with a gun.
So they were gonna kick me out, but they took them so long to process it that my legs had healed. And so at that point, I just, you know, put in a request to go back, and everybody thought that I was so crazy. I remember, like, you're supposed to be medically discharged from the military here soon, and you want me to approve a request for you to go into SEAL training. I said, yes, sir. And he goes, you know how stupid that is. He goes, you realize that we are going to be paying you disability, and we're saying that you're disabled, and you want me to approve a request for you to go to the hardest military training in the world. And yeah, I was 2 days before graduation, got rolled all the way back to the beginning, did the whole thing again, and then got kicked out. That actually, to me, is one of the things that does irritate me, is when people think that I like didn't serve.
You know what? I'm noticing a trend here. This is somebody that should not have access to guns, because you've already got caught with them at school. You got kicked out of the Navy SEALs for something. Seems like a trigger-happy guy. Like, no thank you. So after that, this real Navy SEAL made this video, Dan clapped back and sent him a message, and I was like, wow. You think a dude with this much money would just get over it and just kind of move on? So he said, I saw your analysis of my interview. It's shocking that a dumb motherfucker. What a dumb motherfucker you are. How about you do some actual research? Talk to some people in buds who can look at my training records before you open your ignorant mouth about me. One thing that's really weird to me is, like, if you were supposedly in buds, why hasn't a single person come forward saying that they like remember being in training with you, or like even remember you back then?
Oh, by the way, I taught him poker. I want that.
We
on camera.
touched on that, thank you.
Did you? Okay. Where were we at? He loves me and I hate him. No, I'm
It's a
kidding.
love-hate relationship.
Oh yeah. His little brother actually got him into poker and taught him how to play, and honestly it kind of seemed like his brother Adam was a little bit better at playing poker at first. But I think I've seen a few videos of Dan playing poker, and it seems like he just takes more risk. And he even says in one of the videos, he's like something along the lines of, if rich people took the risk that I would, they would just end up being way more richer, but they're just scared to. So he just doesn't seem like he's a really cautious poker player. I don't think he's like the best player in the world. I know he tries to bring up, oh, I do online matches, private matches, and things like that. And I guess if it's a private match, you can probably make a good lump sum of money. But how many people are actually betting millions of dollars, you know? So at this point, he's going to like Florida State University, and he's studying criminology and business. He was studying criminology and business, and this is when he was playing like poker with his roommates and stuff, and his brother taught him how to play.
So I went like flat broke my sophomore year, and I actually had to like sell 3 of my guns, and then I took that money and went and like played on this gambling boat. I lived in this, or like stayed in this flea bag, take a boat to the boat because it had to be in international water, and then I would, you know, played there, and I turned that $750 into 10,000, and then flew to Bellagio, got like a one-way ticket to Vegas, and played for 3 weeks. Turned that into 187,000. And
so he says that he sold 3 of his guns and he got like $750, and then that's when he started like gambling and like betting all his money. He made $750 into like $750 to $10,000. Then bought a one-way ticket to Vegas and stayed at, I believe, the Bellagio or some shit. Turned $10,000 into $187,000. So, but he did already have some kind of money from his dad, even though he wasn't able to get into his trust fund until he was like 35. What kind of job did he even have to buy all the guns? I looked high and low on the internet, couldn't find a single thing. So most people, they, you know, have a fast food job or something when they're growing up, or some kind of like, you know, low end paying job, and he's just never had one that I've kind of been able to find. So that's just weird to me. I can't believe that he hasn't had like a normal job. But it's like, guns cost so much. Maybe they didn't then actually, but it's like, how did you get the money to buy the guns? It doesn't make sense to me. So, you know, up until that point, he was doing just like smaller poker games and stuff. And it sounded like he stayed there for like 3 weeks, so that's a good amount of time. In 2009, in the World Series of Poker, Dan Bilzerian finally got recognized. He made it in the 180th place in the poker game. I don't know how many places there are, but he won $10.8 million that night, which is pretty damn good if you ask me. And yeah, and then at that point he was like, I don't know, I guess he kind of used his status of having a trust fund, was able to get into like bigger poker competitions. I read that he got a sponsorship from some like online poker deal. And he got like $400,000. And then he used that $400,000 bet the money on a poker game, and yeah. And also, I want you to please notice in the photos how much taller his ex-girlfriend was than him. Like,
I think Jessa f***ed me up a little bit.
One of your past girlfriends.
I mean, I was really in love with her. She just had a drinking problem and then promised she wasn't going to drink again. I just like really wanted to make it work. She had basically like every great trait, you know, that's like really hard to find, the intelligence, the looks, all these things together, like needle in a haystack. And then everything else was like trust issues, daddy issues.
I know this dude is not trying to blame daddy issues on his girlfriend, because we all know he has them. Like, what are you doing, bro?
It's like all the bullshit. I was just like hoping that there was a way that I could make it work, because she was so good in these areas that I cared about.
You like want to marry her?
No, I wanted her to not be a shithead. And then maybe I would have married her. I would have probably married her. But yeah, I think she f***ed me up, and then I basically created a situation where it was impossible to be hurt because I had so many women that they were like interchangeable, like a pair of tennis shoes, you know? So it's like a situation where it's like almost impossible to fall in love, and it's difficult to have like real connections.
It's kind of funny listening to this clip because I'm like, oh, little Dan the man, he has feelings. That's so cute. I thought he was just like, you know, all evil and conniving and stuff, but he had feelings once. So that's nice to know. Anytime she would wear heels, she's like a few inches above him. Like, damn. So, after him and Jessica Pilton broke up, whenever I looked her up, I thought her last name was Hilton, then I found out it was Pilton. I'm like, what kind of Walmart version of fucking Paris Hilton is this shit? So, after they broke up, he starts his bachelor life, post-breakup. So, you know Dan the man. You've seen the Instagram post. One thing that's weird to me when I look at his Instagram, and some of the photos, he just looks like he could be one of the homegirls. You know what I mean? What is up with you always wearing those like Reno 911 shorts? It's always kind of like, how come there is not one single photo of this dude kissing a girl? Not even his ex-girlfriend. What's up with that? And you know, can't be mad at the dude that he's really good at marketing, because like obviously hot chicks running around in bikinis all the time, who doesn't want to see that, you know? If your target audience is males. Women, not so much, unless they're lesbians. And I got this video from Dan's Instagram, but just look at it, it just looks crazy. I was watching the video and then I realized, oh, the music in the background's playing, so I can't have that. And also in this video, I think it's interesting that Travis Barker's there, French Montana, like, I don't know who other famous people are there, but interesting to see. Let's get into his controversies over the years. So, this part is interesting because in the clips he never actually openly admits that he did it, but like he does. And then somebody literally had a video that night, so you'll see that clip.
No stranger to controversy. You were sued twice for allegedly kicking a woman in the face at a nightclub.
Well, okay, so
It just makes me laugh, just like the way he lies. Like, bro, you know you kicked that chick in the head with your steel-toe boots, like 5'9" self. Of course you gotta do that shit. That's some stuff a little man would do with your little man syndrome ass.
Club, throwing a porn star off your roof. Did you do that?
So that was a shoot for Hustler. And so they wanted me to actually throw her over my head into the pool. And I was like, well, I don't know, that doesn't seem too safe. And the girl's like, oh, I want to do it.
She wanted to do it.
Yeah, she was, she was ecstatic. And I was like, okay, here's how it's gonna go. We did a dry run. And even in the video, you can see, I'm just like, okay, we're gonna do it on 3, and you have to let go of me. Because that was the one thing, if she hung on to me, it probably wasn't gonna work. So when I go to throw her on the number 3, she grabs onto me and almost pulls me off the roof. I mean, thank God I threw as hard as I could because, she barely cleared the thing. But yeah, the accident was 100% her fault. I mean, 3 days later, she got, some seedy attorney who had sued there's a laundry list of celebrities that he sued. And so then all of a sudden, she goes on TMZ and, according to her, she can't work, even though on Twitter she had 3 dicks in her.
Where does it stand now?
2 days later. Now we went to court, we battled it out. And so it's done.
At first, when I heard about this, I was kind of outraged a little. This rich dude can't pay this chick's foot bill or whatever, hospital bill for a fucking broken foot or whatever. Bro, you have so much money. You're worth 200 million, you can't spare 100,000. That's ridiculous. But then I watched the video and I listened to numerous interviews trying to film this video, and he talks about this was actually a shoot for Hustler magazine. She was willing to do it. She thought it was going to be a good idea. They did a practice run. The practice run went good. And then whenever it came down to actually throw her, he grabs onto her shirt. And if I'm able to get the clip in the video, you can literally see her latching onto the shirt and then letting go at the last minute. Not even letting go. I guess the shirt ripped. But he almost falls off, and it's ugh. And then another thing I thought, supposedly Larry Flint's is the guy that made Hustler magazine, and I think he still owns it. And this dude is he's worth more than 500 million, so he's worth more than Dan. So I don't understand why she didn't sue Hustler. And then I'm just like, well, why couldn't y'all get just a photo with his 20 models? I think that sells lifestyle enough on a boat or on a yacht, Why do you have to throw a chick that's naked in a pool? Seems like a bit much, don't you think? Over the top, unnecessary, stupid. What were you all thinking? They went to court, and of course she lost. Oh yeah, and look at this photo that I found on his Instagram, and the caption says, "Safer than a roof." Gotta love that. And his next controversy is the shooting that happened in Las Vegas. These clips are just kind of infuriating, and it makes you mad watching. It's just dude, you're a grown ass man. What the hell are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing?
I don't care. I don't know who you are. Jesus Christ. You want help? Dude, don't fucking, you know better than that. I'm just saying, I don't know who the fuck you are. I just showed you my creds. That's fine. I don't know who you are. Keep moving. Keep moving.
Fuck, this girl just got shot in the fucking head. It's so fucking crazy.
Fucking so crazy. Some kind of mass shooting. Fucking guy had a heavy caliber weapon for sure. Saw a girl fucking get shot in the face right next to me. Her brain's fucking hanging out. Stupid ass mutant brain. They got one of the guys. I'm headed back. I don't think there's much I can do. So headed home. For all you people texting and calling and everything, I'm fine. Pretty fucked up night.
Go to your hotel or your car and get out of there. Let the police find the shooter. Like, people like that trying to like obstruct justice damn near. And then he asked the cop for a gun. Like, what are you doing? What? You should just leave. Like, and then at the end, of course you couldn't do anything, bro. What did you think you were gonna do? Be the fucking hero? And then shooting the rocket launcher in Armenia. I don't even know if this was really his fault. It just sounds like it makes you look bad.
And didn't you get in trouble for firing an RPG into a mountain?
Yeah, I did. That wasn't related to either of those things. I was in Armenia, and I wanted to show me a good time. So they brought out like every gun, their fucking tanks, their rocket launchers. I was like, well, fuck, I've never shot a rocket launcher, you know, like, give me that thing. So they were like, yeah, just shoot it over there in that mountain. I was like, okay, cool. So I shot it in the fucking mountain, shot a couple rounds over there, and then find out that's technically Azerbaijan, and those two countries are at war. So they put out like an international warrant for my arrest.
King of Instagram was arrested as he landed on a private plane from the Bahamas. And Eyewitness News reporter Alex Michelson has more on the infamous social media icon and why he was taken into custody.
But upon landing at LAX on Tuesday, he was stopped by airport police. Bilzerian and a friend were arrested by LAX police using warrants out of Nevada for possessing explosives on public land. Prosecutors say he'd been stockpiling an ammonium nitrate mix with intent to use it as an explosive. Las Vegas police say they discovered this after receiving a call of an explosion out in the Clark County desert on November 4th.
Oh, yeah. And at one point he, I don't know, exploded like a truck or something in the Las Vegas desert. He got in trouble for that. He had to pay a fine. And then he still had stuff for making the bombs, and he got caught at LAX and got arrested. He is just, you know, somebody that should not be trusted with guns or explosives. Like, what are you doing, dude? Why would you even bring that stuff with you? Like, stupidity at its best. I think the biggest controversy of all is the fact that he was using his vape / like weed business to pay for his extravagant lifestyle, like all the models, the yachts, the house, anything that he could put his logo on, he was like writing it off as business expense. It would be things that weren't even like, they couldn't even be in a business expense. What does a Star Wars set have to do with business, honestly? I'm waiting. Not shit? You're right. And then also, like, how do you go from having like a weed company to then putting your logo on anything and everything? Like, I'm talking vodka, bathing suits, sandals, or flip-flops or whatever. And then another thing I learned, his company is based in Canada. You're not even Canadian. You grew up in Florida. But like, I don't know, it's just crazy amounts of money. Like spending $50 million on advertising, like, bro, why? How can you even justify that? Like, and then it's like you're spending all this money on advertising and your business isn't even really doing that good. Sounds kind of stupid to me. Sounds like money is just getting wasted left and right.
We fired Curtis, who was our president, and he basically like went on a negative press campaign.
And what he said was basically you were using the company as your personal piggy bank, and they flagged nearly $1 million of, you know, expenses. So this was stuff like yacht rental, London trip, Star Wars set, bed frame, paintball field, vault.
So a lot of the stuff that he named, I actually paid for. So the yacht, I mean, man, that was like branding. I mean, we had the f***ing goat skull front and center in a 300-foot yacht.
Look at that yacht. I'm telling you, slap that logo on anything, business expense.
And I think the yacht rental was like over $1 million, and I, you know, paid for like, I want to say 600-ish of it. I mean, Ignite paid for 400. I mean, you know, 300-foot yacht with 30 super hot chicks. It's like, you know, life aspirational stuff. And that was kind of the brand that I was building, was a lifestyle brand. So to me, it was like, man, that made a lot of noise.
Oh yeah, this is another interesting part. One of their former employees that didn't want to be named said, Ignite pays for everything, one said. Models, events, yachts. Dan will just have it wrapped with the Ignite logo, and all of a sudden, it was an Ignite expense, and he would send them the bill. Pools, trampolines, the employee added. His personal events that had nothing to do with business. He got I was watching his Instagram story while I was trying to come up with the clips for this video. And he has like I don't even know what it is, but it's like, has the star headliner, and then you just see on the dashboard there's a ram's head. So of course it's gonna be written off his business. His dad that went to prison for scamming all these people back in the 80s. No biggie, but he's just running the freaking business. Another reason why we should trust this dude. No.
This is the home of the infamous Instagrammer, Dan Bilzerian. He reportedly paid a mind-boggling $65 million for this mega mansion.
Oh, and let's get to the house debacle. I think I remember this is probably one of the first times that I saw him, and I was like, what is up with this dude? This house, it was just so big. It's just like, who needs a house that big? I guess it's just because you grew up with 27 bathrooms or whatever. 65 million? Can you imagine? And then we find out he didn't even pay for it. He's renting it. The comments on this video just made me laugh. And then the fact that they had to go back and change the title. And then all the chicks in the house while they're doing this little walkthrough, they're getting paid. They are. They're not there on their own free will. It's not like they want to be there. They're getting there because they have to work and pay those bills.
I gambled all fucking night long. And then my buddy came and he's like, hey, let's go to the strip club. Let's go party with these girls. The guy had like fucking ecstasy and coke and pot and all this stuff. I'm doing blow. And I like tell my buddy, I'm like, hey, give me a Viagra. I gotta go bang this chick. He's like, okay. So he hands me one. And I don't know anything about Viagra. I've never taken it before. Gives me a 100 milligram one. So apparently this is like for fucking geriatrics, right? Like if you're like fucking 90, this shit will get your dick up. So I take the thing. 2 minutes later, I'm like, the fucking thing doesn't work. Give me another one. So I had like a pain in my shoulder. So I did like some push-ups and that kind of made it worse. And I was like, it's just weird. So I called my mom. I had her like, try and get the family doctor on the phone. And by the time she put me on hold, I was having a hard time breathing. I was like, there's something wrong. Go to the hospital. Wait in the waiting room for like 40 minutes. Finally, I get in to see a doctor. They're like, you're having a full-blown heart attack. They give me the nitroglycerin, the whole thing, and I think I'm gonna die. I'm like crying. I call my dad, tell him I love him, all this shit. They're like, you're having a heart attack. I'm like, I think I'm dead for sure, right? So I'm like, well, I was drinking a little bit, and the doctor's like, it's very important that you're thorough and that you tell us everything. We can't give you certain things if, they mix with other drugs. And I'm just like, I was smoking some pot, and I did a little bit of cocaine, and I think I might have taken a little bit of Viagra. The doctor's like, it's very important that you tell us how much. I was like, yeah, I think like 200 milligrams. The doctor goes, 200 milligrams? He goes, what were you doing? And my girl's like, yes, what were you doing? And I'm just like, I don't know, I'd never taken it before. He's like, 200 milligrams is a crazy amount. And I'm like, I didn't know. Within 12 hours, I had the next heart attack in the hospital, but it was like real minor. So anyways, the whole long and the short of it was, I had like ran my body into the ground and the stress and the drugs and the whole thing. And they said I was fine.
This is a fun little story. Just another instance of why this dude should not be a role model. What 20-something-year-old thinks like, oh, I'm gonna go take some Viagra. Like, bro, that shit's for old men. Like, what the hell are you doing?
So
what does Cialis do? Cialis just gets you hard forever?
No, so that's Viagra. Viagra is more of like a hooker drug, right? So if you have a window where you gotta fuck a girl, Viagra is great. But the one time in my life I took it, I had a heart attack, so I don't fuck.
You're using help though. You're using some sort of help.
Dude, I was using every kind of help. Oh, okay. Cialis, fucking testosterone.
Well, you should just be young and ready to go. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to take anything like that. It's just kind of. Let's get on to how he talks and treats women.
I want to know who the hottest celebrity you ever fucked.
To be honest, I haven't fucked any like super famous women. Like no, like
I don't believe
you've just fucking destroyed the Instagram model scene in LA.
Yes, I really went deep into that.
You like that, huh?
Like, how have you not been Me Too'd?
I mean, like I said, man, just totally fucking open with my shit, and I have video cameras in all my rooms. Like, and also I take a different approach too. Like, I don't pursue girls. So the girls that are coming are like, they're fighting to hook up with me. Mm-hmm. And so I think if you set that parameter and you set that, stage, it's different
than when you're like trying to trick a girl into fucking you, or you're trying to like, hold the carrot over her head, like, oh, if you fuck me, you can get this job. And I think that's what a lot of these guys did. Is
obviously he's very into like Instagram models, because that's mostly what we see on his profile. We've never seen him with a celebrity. And again, we've never even seen him kiss any of these chicks that he claims to have, done things with. I think it's all just a facade to sell his business when he doesn't even like what he's like, I don't know, trying to act like he does. On top of that, how many girls are actually fighting over you? I just can't imagine a group of chicks actually fighting over dude. Like, what is this, The Bachelor? I just don't see it happening. And that's another reason why I think his lifestyle is just so unrealistic. What chick or dude actually wants to be surrounded by a bunch of other chicks and dudes that are trying to get the same person, if they supposedly actually are, But then I found out they're all getting paid. So then I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense, because I'm just like, I just don't see what's so great about him. I feel like he just doesn't have respect for anybody but himself.
I say this in full sincerity. I don't think a single self-respecting girl will make it through this book.
I don't know, man. It's funny. I thought the exact same thing, and I had a liberal feminist that was an investment banker, smart, hot chick, read that thing, and she liked it. You'd be surprised. I feel like honesty resonates with people. Like,
but does she respect herself?
I don't know. I mean, she's successful. I don't know.
That doesn't mean she respects herself.
Yeah.
Did you have sex with her?
I did not. I did not fuck her.
Do you plan on it?
No, I as my buddy's girlfriend.
So, like I said at the beginning, he recently came out with his book. And I'll be real, I looked it up on Amazon because his book, it said $100. And I'm like, what the heck? If you're literally so rich, I think you can lower the price of your book. And then I looked on like a website or something separate from Amazon, and then he had 3 different versions of the book. The leather copy that was $100, I guess like a paperback that was probably like $20-$30, and then an ebook that was like $20 or something. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. Yeah, and then like the reviews on the book are just funny. Let me just, Junkie Jeff said, boring read. This is nothing but a bunch of poorly written stories about some dude that inherited a bunch of money from his family. Now he's wasting it on a lavish lifestyle. There's more interesting reads on Reddit. Don't waste your money. How are you trying to charge someone more than $40? Out your mind. I know this will be a great read, but worth the read. I always wondered how he accumulated such wealth. This guy is right up there with some of the planet's most unique people. I think he may be an alien, actually, in a Tom Brady type of way. Anyhow, the unadulterated honesty shines through, and the homage truth is greater than fiction. Applies throughout. This is a guy's guy book. Haters gonna hate because they ain't him. In the end, though, I kept asking myself if he's truly happy. I hope so. Reading John said, poorly written. This autobiography is a perfect example of a failed attempt by a narcissistic, egotistical rich kid to tell stories about his lavish lifestyle. This book is filled with OMG, can you believe I slept with 6 prostitutes in one day sort of stories. The book is filled with a bunch of I've had so much money so I had to charter a yacht type of tales. This biography lacks substance and fails to keep the reader excited. Most likely how all those Instagram models felt about Dan B. 1 out of 5 stars. The term lackluster comes to mind. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that are not really liking this book. It says 3.6 out of 5. 55% have, 55% said 5 stars. 24% said 1. And then of course it's probably just people that are his like diehard fans that are buying his book. You're selling people such a big lie. It's just stupid. The chicks don't want to be there with you. They're only there because they're getting paid. And then I feel like it just comes to terms with like what people are saying. Are you actually even happy? I just don't see how one can be happy. You're always trying to just like impress everybody else and making them seem like your life is so perfect. Like your life, it's anything but. But I mean, what do I know? I'm not an expert. Someone's dog is outside barking right now. You can probably hear that. And there's somebody out there yelling at the dog for them to stop. At the very end of the video, they're just doing like an interview kind of over stuff in his book. And he's talking about the time he stuck steroids up his butt. just so he can get them across the Mexican border instead of paying $150. Bro.
Anyway, I was paying a buddy to bring steroids across the border for me, and I wanted to save like $150. So we decided we'd all go down there and stick them up our ass and then walk across or actually drive across the border. We had been walking before, but I figured driving would be better. And man, that was unpleasant.
You said your buddy got out of the car and it was like projectile.
Why didn't you just pay $150? Did you really want to stuff something up your butt that bad? Yeah, well, that's just, in conclusion, I think I just want to say that I don't think anybody should be idolizing this guy for multiple reasons. These chicks don't want to be there. They are there because they are getting paid. Let that sink in. They are there because they are getting paid. Paid. This dude has done so many stupid things. It's just like how he treats women. And I'm not just talking about using them as objects and trying to be like a Walmart version of Hugh Hefner. I'm talking about like kicking them in the face. I'm sorry, when is that ever acceptable? You're like a decently sized dude. Just get them and split them apart. You're like the size of a bouncer or something, or maybe a little bit shorter, but like you can separate them, can't you? And then all the misconducts with guns and explosives and things like that. I don't think we should trust this dude with guns. You know, which I think after you started selling like pot or whatever, he couldn't even have guns like that anymore. But it's just like, is this somebody that people would want to idolize? Damn, that scared the shit out of me. Writing everything off as a business expense, just because you slap your logo on it doesn't justify it. I don't know. I feel like this dude just acts like a kid. He doesn't act like he's 40 years old. Lying about things like the house, it's just like, why? What do you get out of that? Oh yeah, I guess it's just him trying to sell his extravagant life that's actually, I don't know, just overhyped. This guy is just a big ol' like walking advertisement of what guys want their life to be, but nobody actually has a life that great. No, the women don't actually want to be there. You probably don't even want to be there, bro. Just admit it. You came from money, so I'm sorry. I don't know how self-made you can actually really claim to be. If you came from nothing, it would make more sense. I don't know. He's only as legit as y'all claim he is, I guess. And then at the end of the day, I don't want to discredit him. Like, I think he's done a few good things. For example, he has cats, or he has a cat that he's posted a few pictures of, so that's good. Cats are awesome, and I'm glad somebody with this much money has cats. And he has the goat that he takes care of, so that makes me happy. So at least he's using his money for some good things. At least he has the cat and the goat. He's taking good care of them. And they probably live a better life than most people. So that's good. And he has like a foundation for like injured veterans. So that's awesome too. Hopefully somebody with his platform and money, hopefully he's doing good things. Donating money and stuff. If you got anything good out of this video, leave it a like. And if you want to hear a video about a certain person or company or something like that, please just leave it down below and I'll get to work on research. And yeah, these videos take a little bit longer to do. I don't even know if this video is going to even turn out good, but if you liked it, you know what to do. If you want to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button. It lets me know that I'm doing something right.